excellence, who are not conforming to this world, but transforming and being renewed in the mind, in the body, in the spirit. Blessings. I hope you're having a phenomenal start to your day. If you haven't started your day, I am flattered, I am honored, I am grateful that you chose to start with me. Yay! So, guys, what is it? Today is I think the 20th? Is it? The 20th? Yes, because tomorrow would be my birthday, but no, I'm not doing anything particular. Everything particular, magical, and everything is happening for me. And I'm just grateful. One thing that I realized this year, when it comes to the numbers, guys, it don't tell no lie, because we're in 2021. I'm 39. That equates down to 12, right? Okay. The 21st, okay. The 4th of, the month. You break that down into 2. That's 2 2s again. That's break it down some more. That's all ones. So to God be the glory, because great things He has done, He is doing, and I'm just grateful that we're about to see the manifestation of it all. It's about positioning, it's about timing, it's about just sticking with the plan, but finding the plan first. Do you know your purpose? Are you sure you know your purpose, right? Are you taking time, the time you need to learn, to connect, to receive the download, the time you need to declutter, to clear out, right? To renew your mind so that you can see clearer, so that you can receive things differently, so that you can now recondition some things you were conditioned to believe, right? Are you now being intentional to understand that we're in those last times, guys, where many are called and few are chosen? Those who are called, only the few of you who are, whether you're handpicked, whether you're pushed, whether you are answering to the call, have been activated, right? And I believe this waiting season that we're in and we're upon is a time for us to heal ourselves so that we can be who we need to be in our purpose. And I'm telling you, I'm just so thankful. I'm happy and grateful now that I answered to the call. I'm happy and grateful now that I took the time to learn, to take the time to unlearn and relearn, to take the time to apply and test and prove, to take the time to acknowledge, right? To acknowledge and take accountability for self. Because you have to realize that there are certain things happening in your life, reoccurring through other interactions with other people multiple different times. You have to now take the time and say, okay, well, the one common denominator is you, right? The one common denominator is you. So what is it that you need to work on to make sure that you're not expressing this in future connections, in future opportunities, in future relationships, right? Because your next level is so important in this season. It's going to require you to get out the way. It's going to require you to replace the emotions, right? And get yourself into some knowledge, into some learning, into some position so that you can be helpful. The things that you went through, the things that you probably still allowing yourself to go through, you may have gotten over it a long time ago. I'm going to sit that there. You may have gotten over it a long time ago. You are just so comfortable, right, to that familiar spirit. You're just so okay with hearing the complaints. You don't realize that God has delivered you from that one thing that you keep praying about, that one thing that you keep crying every night about, that one thing that you keep self-sabotaging yourself about over and over and over in your head. You have been delivered, but you're choosing to continue to live in that remembrance, in that memory, in that illusion that you now created yourself. Now you see some people create an illusion for fear of moving forward, but your illusion that you're creating, and those people who are speaking to are the illusions of moving on from what is holding you back, from what you feel so attached to, the toxic familiar energy that you understand so well that you don't want to let it go because it's within you, it's in you now. You believe that it's a part of you. You own it to the point, like I saw this video where one of our famous Jamaican DJs, she was saying, and she's like, yeah, me girl, I'm toxic. I'm getting up and walking beside you and toxic, I'm this and that. There's certain things in relationship that we celebrate as Jamaicans that really we need to change our mindset, and we need to stop entertaining these things, right? And then remove your toxic behavior from yourself instead of entertaining or involving others around. We need to work with ourselves first. So it is your time now that you are being called. You are being called. You are the chosen to get up, to rise up, and to move forward, and to show and to lead the next generation, right? I don't know if you were born in the 80s or any time after that, but we are raising some children that I'm seeing out there that have lost the laws, the principles, have no clue what kingdom is. And we have gotten so dependent. Great morning, grand rising, beautiful. We have gotten so dependent on the system to raise our children, to raise our family. When now that they've gotten out of control, we're like, we have the government ruling our lives, or wanting to rule our lives. Our government has been telling us what to do within our homes for a very long time. How to drive, when to go to work. So there's no difference in what they're doing now, but we have lost our way. We have to point the finger up to see how can we as a nation, how can we as a community, how can we as a people or individual transform. We do not conform to this world, but we be transformed, right? How can we do that? We have to renew our minds. We have to show our children and those in our community. We have to go back to community. We have to go back to the word, right? We go to the word when we're in depression. We go to the word when we're healing. We go to the word when we want to fight and overcome battles. But are we going to the word when it comes to business and finances? Are we going to the word when it comes to structure and kingdom? You don't understand. There's so much principles. There's so much gems in that biblical, in the basic instructions before leaving earth. There is so much gems. You just have to take the time to find it. Seek and you shall find, right? Everything sounds like parables, but in reality, when you look into the life that you're living and you're listening to other people who are speaking things into existence, you find out that, listen, you are truly powerful because everything you said has happened, whether good or bad. Everything you've heard other people do, you're seeing it come to pass. So what is your purpose in this all? What is your purpose in this all? How are you going to impact? How are you impacting? Whether you know it or not, consciously or subconsciously, you are making an impact in those people who you have interacted with, who you have connected with, right? You are making it. Whether it good or whether it bad, you are planting a seed that is going to manifest, right? And there's judgment that is coming, whether it's people judging us around us day to day, or at the end of time, you are going to become a judgment of yourself and wondering if you're laying there by yourself and you live an unhealthy lifestyle, and at the end of time, there's a section in the Bible that talks about, when we get old, right? About when we get old, and my mind is foggy right now, but it talks about, imagine being at home alone and you fall and there's nobody around to pick you up. Can you imagine a person in that situation? Unless they outlive everyone around them, which I've met those people, but God is so merciful and amazing that there are so many friends and families and even workers who turn friend who has been around to help those people. But I'm talking about the people who come to the last days in their life, who haven't lived their best with people, who have continued to consume in their toxic ways, who have even treated their own children and dismissed them when they're hearty and healthy, right, and can do for themselves, and then they're left alone. And I'm in healthcare and I go and visit these people, and they will fall for hours or overnight, and there is nobody, not a friend, not a daughter, not a son, no one to come and help them because of how they have chosen to stick to their ways. And I understand we're in a different time, and this time we should be very understanding, right, to each and everyone who did not have all the access and the opportunity to heal and to grow and to develop in their time, right? But we also need to protect ourselves. We also need to continue to show those people, because those people have a lot of wisdom that they didn't understand that they need to pass down. They didn't understand that once they healed and released some of the things that were done to them, they would be able to make a more beautiful impact in this world, right? But we don't want to be that type. We don't want to become those people. We want to be remembered as someone who makes a difference. We want to remembered of someone who broke the generational curse, who broke barriers, and who broke cycles to get places. And what I want to say to you is, if you are not in the environment, people, get in the environment. Get in the environment. It is so much easier right now. I remember I used to always go to seniors' homes, and I used to always be amongst a lot of seniors because I really wanted to get that wisdom that seniors have. I was one of those old souls, and I just wanted to retain the knowledge that so many of them have, and so many of them are leaving with and not sharing, right? And I was just always so blessed to be amongst them, and I learned so much as a single mother who was raised by a single mother. We didn't have a lot of knowledge to exchange amongst each other. I had to really go out there and be placed in the position. And to God be the glory, He has really carried me through some things. I've endured a lot of things, but it was for me to learn the lessons. I was having a conversation about criminal law. I went to criminal law and took course and all of that, but I did not complete. And the only thing I learned out of that class, I found it so boring. I excelled in it. It was great, the information. I got the books and all of that. But the only thing I got out of there was repetition is the mother of learning. My professor kept on saying that, and it's like, it was new to me at that time, and I didn't get it at that time many years ago. But as I'm in the industry I'm in now, as I'm walking out in faith in my purpose, as I'm stepping out in belief of everything that I touch turns to gold, I realize that's one thing that's attached to it is the repetition. The repetition, our consistency, is the mother of all learning. We learn better. We're able to conduct it through our actions and help, so whatever, even if you're hearing something over and over, guys, even if you're revisiting a cycle in your life, we have to understand that, listen, there's something you're still waiting to learn. There's something you still need to learn. We have to be humble. We can't dismiss it and be like, oh my God, I've been through this, or feel so prideful that you know it all. No, if you're repeating it, if you're going through the course again, stop, look, listen, watch, be watchful, right? And test yourself to see, okay, am I qualified to pass this stage in my life? What am I missing? There's more information, right? Or sometimes it's somebody is going through that and you're going through it so that they can see that they can overcome it. You've already passed. You have already qualified, right? You're now showing yourself approved, right? So peace be still. I love you. Thank you, sis. Thank you, Goddess, for joining. I appreciate you guys. I love you. Love yourself first. Experience the love of God, right? And keep smiling, right? It's so contagious. Make others smile around you, right? If you feel bad within yourself, go outside and make somebody else feel good, or even better, look within yourself and do some mirror work. It may feel uncomfortable, it may feel bad at first, but guess what? Keep doing it, repetition, keep doing it, and guess what? That fight that you're fighting within is going to come out and you're going to start shining, right? Because you are the light. You are the light that's needed in your environment. You are the light that's needed with everyone that's contacted. You may not know it yet, and they definitely know it because they are sticking around you waiting for you to just shine so bright, all right? Blessings.